definitely in March will be quite interesting. If any of you is interested, please see Dr. Connor about her listening with Dr. Patrick Conway, who is an integral part of us receiving our SIM grant 2 years ago. So on that note, a lot of food for thought, and we're going to have Jelaine Armbruster from the Delaware Center for Health Innovation come and give us our closing remarks. If you have not met Jelaine, she is the Executive Director for DCHI, and she joined us last fall. And she has taken on our mission at DCHI, and she's going to give us some closing remarks about innovation and transforming healthcare in Delaware.
Thank you. And actually, my remarks are going to be very short because I do realize that we're coming to the end of a pretty long morning. But I hope that although it was a long morning, I trust that it's been informative and that it's been constructive and that it's even been invigorating. And I also want to just to thank you for being a part of this, to thank you for your participation, for your contributions, and for your engagement this morning. And before I forget it, I don't want to go further without also thanking Dr. Fan, who wears multiple hats, but to thank her for just moderating this learning collaborative and for keeping us on track and for just helping to pull all of this information together for us as we continue throughout the morning. Also, just to acknowledge the Planning Committee for a really thought-provoking and informative day. I think they've done a really super job, so thank you all. And then I think in closing, I just want to reflect on just one or two things. The main one being like a thing that we have heard from speakers throughout the day, and that is that change is not coming, change is happening. We're already there. We're in the throes of it. We're in the midst of it. And that we cannot continue to do the same things that we have been doing in respect to delivery of care, engaging our patients, in respect to payment, and even in respect to how we approach building capacity within our organizations in order to be able to navigate through this change. So we have good news in Delaware. And the good news is that Delaware has been and is continuing to be proactive regarding that change. And we have good news around the approach that we've engaged in to be able to support all stakeholders through this change and to make sure that together we're able to drive innovation, we're able to bring about collaboration, we're able to just to act upon the opportunities that are presented to us in the midst of this change, but at the same time that we're able together to work through the challenges and to be able to improve upon the care that we deliver so that we can achieve that quadruple aim that was talked about earlier. So I also just want to take this opportunity to leave you with the last word. I know that we're going to get, you're going to be able to view a videotape of this on the DCHI website and as well as on the Choose Health website. So I will not go through summarizing some of the key points, although I think there have been many takeaways from this. But I would just, maybe just from two of you, when you leave out of here today, what is it that you hope that or you hope that others will take away from this session? And just one or two in the interest of time. Is there any one burning thing that you want to make sure that everyone takes away from this session today? Any takers? Oh, I do have one. Thank you.
I think that's what Dr. Parisi had said earlier. How are we going to get... Sorry, what Dr. Parisi said earlier, how are we going to get this out to the community? So, to the patients. So through the papers?
Mm-hmm. I think that's a good point because if I had, in my list of things I've taken away from today, one of the things that I noted was the reminder that all of you have sort of put forward today, and that is to remind us, as with the whole DCHI initiative, the SIM Transformation Healthcare Innovation Center, is that patients are at the center of everything that we're doing and everything that we're striving for. So it's important that we continue to seek ways to engage them, to educate them, and to empower them to participate in this effort and to take ownership of and to be stakeholders in their own care. So we will continue to work through our Patient and Consumers Committee, as well as through all the other initiatives within DCHI, and as well as in working with the healthcare, just that quick. Healthcare Commission, thank you. It's been a long day. And as well as with all of our other stakeholders and making sure that we're driving out this information to consumers. So thank you for raising that point again, because it certainly has been raised by many others today. Thank you. All right. Okay, and I think we're done. Okay. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jelaine. I didn't want to tax her brain anymore, so. But I would say that, once again, the macro slides are not videotaped. They will be available, sent out to you in I think, a PDF form after today's session. So a plethora of information that you can peruse at your own leisure. But the rest of the sessions were videotaped, and they will be available on the website, as we mentioned. Once again, for the CME credits, please make sure that you have signed in and signed out and provided us with contact information. And please fill out the participation survey. Any suggestions, recommendations? I personally felt like this was very, very useful to me. And clearly, I spent a lot of time doing this, maybe not in my own practice, even just outside of my practice. But I found it very, very useful. And I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate all of your attendance, all of your engagement, as well as all our participating presenters. So thank you very much, and hope you all have a good afternoon.